The day the alien fleet arrived in Earth's sky, many people watched in silence. No one knew what to expect. The ships were large and strange, unlike anything on Earth. Commander Daniel Parker stood on the observation deck of the space station. He felt nervous but ready. This was the first time humans would meet the Galactic Council. When the alien ambassador appeared, Daniel noticed the strange blue skin and sharp eyes. The alien's voice was cold and loud. "Humans," the ambassador said, "you are weak and small. Your world is old and simple. Why do you think you can speak with us?" Daniel did not speak right away. He looked around at his team. Sarah Blake, a young linguist, quietly prepared her notes. The aliens laughed loudly. Their voices echoed like thunder in the room. They thought humans were foolish. The aliens had many advanced technologies. They showed their weapons and ships. They looked at the humans as if they were children. The Galactic Council was proud and full of pride. They believed humans were a weak species, not worth their time. Sarah felt her heart beat faster. She knew something the aliens did not. On Earth, years ago, some ancient ruins were found. Strange writings were carved into stone. The writings were from a lost language. This language was old, very old. Sarah believed it was related to the aliens' ancestors. She showed Daniel the symbols. "Look at this," she said. "I think this language is the key. If we can understand it, maybe the aliens will listen." Daniel nodded slowly. He trusted Sarah. The next day during a meeting, Daniel tried to talk to the alien leaders again. This time, he used some words from the ancient language. The aliens stopped laughing. Their faces changed. Some looked shocked. The room became quiet. An old alien named Rillin stared at Daniel. "Where did you learn that?" he asked softly. Daniel smiled. "On Earth, from our ancient past." The aliens whispered to each other. The laughter was gone. Daniel knew this was only the start. If humans could speak the dead language, maybe they could earn respect. The journey would be hard. The Galactic Council was not easy to please. But Daniel and Sarah were ready to try. Outside, the alien ship stayed silent. The future of Earth and humans in the galaxy was changing. No one would laugh for long. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The next day, Daniel and Sarah met again with the alien leaders. The room was filled with tension. The aliens no longer laughed, but their eyes were cold and watchful. Daniel felt the weight of their stare. He knew this was his chance to show that humans were not weak. Sarah carried a tablet with symbols from the dead. Language. She showed it to the alien ambassador. "We have studied your old writings," she said softly. "We want to understand more about your history. We want to talk as friends." The alien ambassador looked surprised. No other species had shown interest in the ancient language. "Why do you seek this knowledge?" he asked. Sarah smiled. "Because knowing the past helps us build the future." The alien leaders whispered among themselves. Then a tall alien named Rillin stepped forward. He was different from the others. He did not look angry or proud. Instead, he looked curious. "You humans have learned what we forgot," Rillin said. "Our ancestors spoke this language. It is lost to us now. How did you find it?" Daniel answered. "We found ruins on Earth. They had writings. We worked hard to understand them." Rillin nodded slowly. "If you truly know the language, you may hold power. But it is dangerous." Sarah looked at him. "We are ready to learn. We want to prove that humans are strong." The aliens agreed to give Daniel and Sarah a chance. They gave them an ancient tablet covered in the dead language. It was said to hold a secret message from the past. "Decipher this," Rillin said. "If you can read it, you will show your worth." Daniel and Sarah accepted the challenge. They returned to their ship and began working. Days passed and the aliens watched closely. The humans worked day and night, studying the strange symbols. Sarah's knowledge grew. Mark Lewis, a historian on the team, helped her understand the tablet. Together, they found clues hidden in the text. The language was complex, but they made progress. One evening, Daniel looked at Sarah with hope. "We might be closer than we think," Sarah smiled tiredly. "The dead language is the key. It will open doors for us." Back on the alien ship, Raylan watched them silently. The other leaders grew impatient. Some still doubted humans. But Raylan believed they had something special. The challenge was more than words. It was about respect, strength, and trust. Daniel and Sarah knew that the future of Earth depended on what they did next. Outside, the stars shone bright. The galaxy waited to see if humans could prove themselves. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Sarah and Mark worked late into the night. The ancient tablet was covered with strange symbols. Many of the marks looked like pictures, but their meaning was not clear. Sarah traced the lines with her finger and spoke softly. "This language is very old. It was used by your ancestors to hide secrets." Daniel watched them closely. He knew this was important. If humans could understand the tablet, it would show the aliens that humans were not only strong, but also smart. Mark pointed to a symbol that looked like a circle with lines inside. "This might mean power," he said. Sarah nodded. "Yes." "And here," she added, "these shapes repeat. It could be a name or a place." Days passed. The team made slow but steady progress. The aliens on the other side of the room watched without speaking. Some looked surprised. Others still doubted the humans. One afternoon, Sarah made a discovery. She stood up quickly. "I think I found a phrase," she said. "It is a greeting. Something like peace and strength to you." Daniel smiled. "This is good. If we can use their own language to greet them, they might listen." The next meeting was tense. Daniel stood before the alien leaders. He spoke the greeting in the dead language. The room fell silent. Even the youngest aliens stopped moving. Then, slowly, some of the leaders nodded. Ryln looked at Daniel with new respect. "You speak as our ancestors did," he said. "It is rare to hear these words again," the other aliens whispered. The pride in their eyes had changed to curiosity. Daniel felt hope for the first time, but the challenge was not over. Raylan gave Daniel a new task. "There is a puzzle hidden in the tablet. It protects a secret of great value. You must solve it." Sarah and Mark studied the tablet again. The symbols arranged in patterns. Some looked like keys or locks. The puzzle was like a riddle. Daniel said, "We must be careful. This is not just about words. It is about understanding the past." For the next few days, the team worked hard. They tested different ideas. Sometimes they were frustrated. Sometimes they felt close to giving up. But they kept trying. One evening, Sarah smiled. "Look, the symbols here match a star map we found in another tablet." Mark added, "If we connect these stars, it points to a place in the galaxy." Daniel felt excitement. "This is more than a language. It is a map. We have to follow it." The aliens watched quietly. Some looked worried. The dead language was no longer a joke. It was a key to a secret no one expected. The future of humans and aliens was about to change. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Daniel stood before the Galactic Council once more. He held the tablet carefully, showing the patterns they had found. The aliens watched quietly. No one laughed this time. The air was full of tension and curiosity. Using the dead language, Daniel began, "We found a message from your ancestors. It speaks of a place in ancient world lost in time." He pointed to the star map Sarah and Mark had uncovered. "This map leads to that world." Rylin leaned forward. "You have done what we thought impossible. You speak the language of the past and read its secrets. Daniel nodded. We want to visit this place. We want to learn more about your history and ours. The council whispered among themselves. Some looked angry. Others were interested. Finally, Ryland spoke. Many have forgotten the ancient world. It is said to hold great power and knowledge, but it is dangerous. Few have returned. Sarah stepped forward. We understand the risks, but we believe this journey can bring peace between our species. The council agreed to let the humans lead a small expedition. Daniel, Sarah, and Mark prepared their ship. The alien fleet gave them a special guide, Ryland himself as the ship. Left Earth orbit, Daniel looked at the stars. This is more than a mission, he said. It is a chance to change how the galaxy sees us. The journey was long. The stars passed by like diamonds in the night. Sarah studied the tablet constantly. Mark plotted their course carefully. One day, they reached the ancient world. It was a planet covered in ruins. Strange towers rose into the sky, cracked and worn by time. Daniel and the team landed carefully. They walked through silent cities, their footsteps echoing in empty halls. The dead language was carved into walls, doors, and pillars. Sarah read aloud. This place was a center of knowledge, a home to your ancestors. Suddenly, the ground shook. A hidden door opened slowly, revealing a dark chamber. Inside, they found a great machine. It hummed with power, though it had not been used for centuries. Mark touched the controls. This could be the source of the power your ancestors spoke about. Ryland looked at the machine with both fear and hope. If humans can activate this, it will prove we can trust you. Daniel smiled. We will do everything we can. The team worked together to understand the machine. It was difficult and dangerous, but they did not give up. Outside, the galaxy waited. The ancient secrets were waking. The future of humans and aliens was tied to what happened here. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The machine inside the ancient chamber was strange and complex. Daniel, Sarah, Mark, and Ryland worked carefully to understand its parts. The air was heavy with silence and the soft hum of old power. Sarah studied the symbols on the machine. This is a control panel, she said. It uses the dead language to operate. Mark touched a button and a soft light appeared. The machine slowly began to move. The ground trembled beneath their feet. Ryland watched with concern. This machine was made by our ancestors to protect their knowledge. It tests those who wish to use it. Suddenly, the chamber filled with puzzles and traps. Walls shifted and beams of light crossed the room. The team had to find the right symbols to press, or else the traps would activate. Daniel took the lead. He told Sarah and Mark, we must work fast and smart. Use the knowledge from the tablet. Sarah carefully matched symbols on the machine to the tablet's writing. Mark calculated the timing of the moving walls. They moved as one team, avoiding the traps. Sometimes they were close to failure, but their teamwork kept them safe. Hours passed. Finally, they reached the last puzzle. It was the hardest. The symbols were faded, and the meaning was unclear. Sarah studied it deeply. This says something about trust and unity, she whispered. It is a test of our bond. Daniel looked at Ryland. We are here together, humans and aliens. We want to prove we can trust each other. Ryland nodded slowly, then pressed the symbol for unity. Daniel pressed the symbol. The machine stopped shaking. The lights on the panel glowed brightly. A hidden door opened, revealing a room full of ancient knowledge. Books, data crystals, and powerful devices filled the chamber. Ryland smiled. You have passed the test. The machine trusts you. Sarah walked forward. This knowledge can help both our peoples. It is a new beginning. Daniel turned to the team. We must share this with the Galactic Council. humans and aliens can work together. Back on their ship, they prepared to return home. The galaxy would soon hear the story of how humans spoke the dead language in one respect. Outside the window, stars shone quietly. The journey was only the start of something greater. Daniel looked at Sarah and Mark. We changed their minds today. We showed what humans are capable of. Sarah smiled softly. The dead language was the key, but trust is the door. Raylan stood beside them. Together, we will build a new future. The ancient secrets had been unlocked. The path to peace and friendship between humans and aliens had begun. After returning to the alien ship, Daniel, Sarah, and Mark were ready to share what they had found. The room was filled with important alien leaders. They waited quietly, curious about the human success. Daniel spoke first. We solved the puzzle and unlocked your ancestors' knowledge. It shows that humans are not weak or simple. We can learn and work with you. Sarah showed the books and crystals they brought back. This knowledge holds ideas for peace, technology, and history. It can help all of us. The council members looked at each other. Some were still unsure, but Raylan stood up and spoke loudly. Humans have done what many thought impossible. They speak our dead language and have proven their strength. Another alien leader frowned. But can we trust them fully? This knowledge is powerful. It can be dangerous. Daniel nodded. We understand your fear. That is why we want to build trust. We want to share this knowledge openly. Mark added, we want to work together to protect the galaxy, not fight over power. Slowly, more leaders began to listen. The laughter from the first meeting was gone. Now respect filled the room. Sarah spoke softly. The dead language was forgotten by many, but humans studied it carefully. It is a sign that we honor your history. Ryland smiled. This is a new beginning. The past can guide us if we choose. Daniel felt hope. We want to be part of your council. We want humans to have a place among the stars. The council talked for hours. Finally, they agreed to welcome humans as new members. It was a historic moment. Outside the room, the stars shone bright. The galaxy had changed. Daniel, Sarah, and Mark felt proud. Their hard work had broken walls of fear and doubt. Ryland came to Daniel. You have shown courage and wisdom. Humans will be remembered. Daniel smiled. This is only the start. We have much to learn from each other. Sarah nodded. And much to share. The ancient language was not just words. It was a bridge between two worlds. The galaxy was ready for a new story, one of unity and strength. Daniel looked at his team and said quietly, they laughed at us once. Now they listen. After joining the Galactic Council, Daniel and his team began to work closely with the aliens. Many leaders were still cautious, but some, like Rylan, became good friends with the humans. He showed them around the council chambers and introduced them to others. Sarah spent her time studying the ancient texts and learning more about the dead language. Every day, she found new meanings and secrets hidden in the words. Mark helped her by translating and organizing the knowledge. Together, they worked hard to understand the past. One day, Raylan invited Daniel and Sarah to a private meeting. There is something you should know, he said quietly. Many on the council still fear humans. They think we might use the ancient knowledge for war. Daniel looked serious. We want peace, not war. But we must be careful. Rylan nodded. That is why you need to prove yourselves again. Not with weapons, but with your actions. Show that humans can be trusted. Daniel agreed. We will do whatever it takes. Meanwhile, strange news arrived. From the edges of the galaxy, reports of a new threat, a group of aliens who wanted to take the ancient power for themselves. They had heard about the tablet and the machine. The council grew worried. Ryland said, "We must prepare. If this threat grows, it will endanger us all." Daniel felt the weight of responsibility. Humans will stand with you. We won't let this power fall into the wrong hands. Sarah worked with other scholars to find ways to protect the ancient secrets. Mark helped organize defenses and shared Earth strategies. As the threat drew closer, Daniel and his team trained harder. The council gave them ships and weapons, but Daniel hoped it would not come to war. One evening, while looking at the stars, Sarah said, "The dead language brought us here. But now we must protect what we found." Daniel agreed. It is not just knowledge, it is trust. If we lose that, everything is lost. Ryland came beside them. "You are no longer outsiders. You are part of the galaxy's future." Daniel smiled. "We will show everyone that humans are strong and loyal." The coming days would test their courage. But Daniel, Sarah, Mark, and Ryland stood ready. Together they would face the challenge and protect the ancient power. The laughter was gone. Now only hope remained. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. As the humans worked with the aliens, Sarah found something new in the ancient texts. She called Daniel and Mark to the study room. "Look at this," she said, showing an old tablet. "It says that long ago, humans and your ancestors were connected." Daniel raised his eyebrows. "Connected? How?" Sarah pointed to the symbols. "It talks about a shared history, a time when humans and the alien species spoke the same language and lived together." Mark looked amazed. "That means the dead language was once common to both of us." Ryland entered quietly. "If this is true, it changes everything. We thought humans were strangers, but maybe we share the same roots." The council met to discuss the discovery. Some leaders were shocked, others were excited. They realized that the ancient conflicts had made them forget their shared past. Daniel said, "This history can help us unite. We are not so different." Ryland agreed. "The dead language is more than words. It is a symbol of our connection." The council decided to open their ancient archives. They shared stories of the past with the humans. Sarah and Mark helped translate many forgotten texts. The knowledge brought hope. The old fears began to fade. Humans and aliens worked side by side, learning from each other, but not all were happy. Some groups in the galaxy did not want peace. They feared the humans and aliens joining forces. One night, Daniel received a secret message. It warned of a hidden enemy planning to strike. The enemy wanted to stop the alliance and take the ancient power for themselves. Daniel shared the news with Ryland. "We must be ready. This threat could destroy everything we worked for." Ryland nodded. "We will protect our shared future." Sarah, Mark, and Daniel prepared plans. They trained, shared intelligence, and built defenses. The dead language and the ancient knowledge became tools for unity and strength. As they faced danger, the bond between humans and aliens grew stronger. They were no longer strangers in the galaxy. Daniel looked at the stars and thought about the long journey. From laughter and mockery to respect and alliance, humans had come far. The past was not just history. It was a guide for the future, and no matter the challenges ahead, humans and aliens would face them together. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Daniel stood before the Galactic Council once again. The room was full of serious faces. He felt the weight of their eyes. Today he was not just speaking for humans, but for a new alliance. "Long ago," Daniel began, "humans and your ancestors shared a history. We spoke the same language and lived in peace. We want to bring back that unity." Sarah stood beside him, holding the ancient tablets. "The dead language is more than old words. It is a symbol of trust and connection. We ask to join the Galactic Council fully." The counselors looked at one another. Some whispered quietly. Then Ryland stood up and spoke. Humans have proven their strength and respect. They have unlocked our past and shared their own knowledge. Another leader asked, but can we trust that this will last? What if the humans betray us? Daniel answered firmly, trust is built over time. We are ready to work hard and prove ourselves. The council debated for hours. The future of many species was at stake. Finally, the head of the council spoke. We accept humanity as a full member. Together, we will face the challenges of the galaxy. Daniel smiled. It was a moment that no one would forget. Back on Earth, people watched the news. Humans had gained a place among the stars. It was a new chapter for their world. Sarah returned to her studies with renewed hope. Mark worked on ways to share knowledge with all species. Ryland came to Daniel. You have done more than anyone imagined. You opened a door to peace. Daniel nodded. It was not just me. It was the dead language, the past, and our desire to be part of something greater. Suddenly, a message came from the edge of the galaxy. The hidden enemy was preparing an attack. The council needed to act fast. Daniel said, we must stand together, humans and aliens united. The council agreed. Ships prepared for battle, but also for defense and protection. As the stars shone outside the window, Daniel thought about the journey. From being laughed at, humans had become respected and powerful. The dead language had changed everything. It had brought hope, friendship, and a new future. No matter what came next, humans were ready to face it with their new allies. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The day came when the hidden enemy made their move. Ships appeared near the borders of the galaxy. The Galactic Council sent out warnings. Daniel and the human fleet stood ready with their alien allies. Sarah worked on translating last-minute messages using the dead language. Every word was important. Mark helped coordinate the defense. The tension was high, but the team stayed calm. Ryland stood beside Daniel on the bridge of the command ship. This fight is not just for power, he said. It is for the future of all species. Daniel nodded. We fight for trust, for peace, for everything we have built. The battle began. Ships clashed in the vastness of space. Lasers and missiles flew through the stars. Humans and aliens fought side by side, protecting each other. Sarah watched the screens and shouted instructions. Focus on the enemy's command. Ship, use the coordinates from the ancient map. Mark guided the fleet through dangerous areas. Hold the line. Don't let them break through. The enemy was strong, but the alliance was stronger. Their teamwork surprised the attackers. The dead language came into use again, sending secret commands that only their ships could understand. After hours of fighting, the enemy began to retreat. The alliance had won. The council declared a new era. Humans were honored for their courage and wisdom. Daniel, Sarah, Mark, and Ryland stood together, proud and hopeful. Daniel spoke to the crowd. We were once laughed at and ignored, but we never gave up. We learned the dead language, unlocked ancient secrets, and built trust. Today, we stand united. Sarah smiled. The dead language was the key, but it was our hearts that opened the door. Ryland added, together, we have shown the galaxy. That strength comes from respect and unity. The story of humans and aliens was no longer one of mockery. It was a story of friendship and hope. The stars shone brighter than ever. A new chapter had begun, and humans were ready to explore the galaxy as equals. Daniel looked at the stars and thought, this is just the beginning.